KIDO Talk Radio, Kevin Miller in the morning. Let's go to Russell in Star. Russell, good morning.
Good morning, Kevin. Kevin, look, I may be stepping on your broadcasting toes a little bit here in this call, so I just say that beforehand to prepare
So in other
you.
words, you're saying that you weren't moved enough by the in-depth coverage on the mayor, the TikTok, and you, Russell and Star, on KIDO Talk Radio, have something that you believe is much more captivating than that 35-minute monologue.
Well, Kevin, I enjoy your voice all the way, so, they're relevant. It's relevant what you're saying, but I'm going to get to some rat killing here, Kevin, when it comes to broadcasting.
All right.
Okay, I think Sean Hannity's career is finished. Okay, because I heard him yesterday attack this Nick Fuentes, this brilliant young man, Nick Fuentes, who is in the spiritual war and exhibiting leadership in that spiritual war. And there's many young people following Nick Fuentes. And, I've often called in and I've talked about what speech is legitimate, I think that now this is your arena, Kevin, but I think that the broadcasting arena in America is taking a huge paradigm shift. And that shift was brought upon by that interview with Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes, in which what was absolutely forbidden to be spoken about was spoken about. Let's just make something clear. Two things, Kevin. I hate that statement. Let's make it clear, but here it is. If something happens to that Nick Fuentes, anything happens. This guy's a Christian martyr. Anything happens to him, and there's going to be Christians speaking like you've never imagined. And the career modus operandi of American broadcasting is going to shift dramatically into Christians and Christian voices. And I'm not talking about institutional Christians. I'm talking about those that know God and live in the power of God. They're going to be the ones who speak, just like Nick is speaking. And so, to call this Nick a white supremacist, which is to lie like that about people.
You're saying he's not a white supremacist?
No, he's not. Of course not. People won't listen to him because the mainstream broadcasting tells you not to listen to him.
Mm. He's the guy that Janice McGeehan got in trouble for as well.
I know that. But Kevin, what is legitimate broadcasting? You've been in this industry.
You have to. I mean, this kid is what? He was born in '98. Going to Wikipedia, Russell. He's an American white supremacist. Wikipedia wants some money. We're not giving them any money. And a live streamer, a former YouTube. His channel was permanently suspended for violating YouTube's hate speech policy. He holds anti-Semitic views and denies the Holocaust. Fuentes also identifies as the member of the incel movement, as support of the authoritarian government, and as a Catholic integralist and a Christian nationalist.
Okay, the Christian nationalist part of him is what appeals to me personally. And I can tell you that this young man is a very, very astute individual whose voice needs to be heard. And if something happens to him physically, there's going to be a major change in America. This is what I want people to know.
Yeah, I think you're going to be alone in that one, my friend.
I'm okay with that, Kevin.
Well, you're a man of principle, a man of faith. However, you believe that he's not an anti-Semitic.
No, I mean, just, look at what the Mayor McLean did to the police officer. I mean, we don't know. We don't know if people are about color and race. We don't know that. It's been used, Kevin. It's a card they play in a Marxist arena to captivate the minds of people.
Sure, but I believe Russell, I believe they have his statements on those things.
Well, he may be a little bit exuberant. I don't know. I haven't listened to him a lot.
Well,
okay,
I would say this that, but as your friend and someone who has not done what every other person in America would be to do to you. It would be to denounce you, yell at you, and throw you off the air. I respect you. I run into you at the Albertsons. Everybody has their opinion. But I would just say, as a friend to a friend, I would do some research before you wholeheartedly endorse his actions. And him, I mean, he was at the In-N-Out. He's throwing food. And remember, anybody under 35 or 45, or let's go now, Kevin Miller, soon approaches 55, can't be trusted anyway.
Well, Kevin, look, when you're raising a 16-year-old who's looking for mentors,
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. There's a new generation, and some of us older martyrs, we're ready to sacrifice for them. And if there isn't a martyrdom spirit in people in America today, then they're doing no good in broadcasting.
Well, but you have
America.
But you have Sean Hannity basically echoing everything that everybody else has said about Mr. Fuentes. You have Alex Jones now ripping him. Everybody's ripping him.
Not really, Kevin. No. Alex Jones is not ripping him at all.
Called him his homoerotic fascination with Hitler.
Let's just make it one thing clear. The most hated people in America are Christians. It is not the Jews. They've usurped that hatred as if it's them. We are the ones who are hated, canceled, and everything. But yet we are the ones who loves our neighbor as ourselves, and we're the ones stepping up, and broadcasting is going to change, Kevin.
Well, we appreciate that, Russell. It's always good to have you listen and phone in.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. As I said to Russell, I would urge him to do a little research. There are some people you just don't hang out with. My opinion, Mr. Fuentes is one of them. The problem here is you can't divide. That's what the left wants us to do. The left wants us to be an aggrieved class regardless of our racial background. Can't do it, man. Can't do it. Because once you start doing that, then we have the us's versus the thems. And that's what the Chinese want. The communist Chinese want that. The Russians want that. We're better than that. We're America. Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio. Phone number is 580-5436. 580-KIDO. Let's go back to liberal Steve, who joins us once again.
This is Nick's take on women on social media.
And enough with the Jim Crow stuff. Who cares? They're drinking out of a different water fountain. Big fucking deal. Oh, no, man.
Come on, Bo. Yeah, you can't use profanity. I guess we cannot trust liberal Steve. If you're just tuning in, you're thinking to yourself, well, Kevin Miller, what the heck's going on? Well, first and foremost, for some reason, we did this incredible breakdown of what's going on within the Boise Police Department. In fact, we should go back to that in a minute. And Russell from Star called in. And the reason why we and our critics go, well, Kevin Miller just lets people run wild and whatever. No, Russell was so engaged and so emotional into what Sean Hannity said about Nick Fuentes, who's white supremacist, Holocaust denier. And Russell gave his thoughts about Mr. Fuentes not getting an equal shot in the media. You want career suicide? Put Nick Fuentes on your radio station. We're regulated by the government. It would be disastrous. But we respect everyone's opinion. We don't agree with everyone's opinion, but we respect their opinion. And because it's in response to something that happened on this radio station, the home of Sean Hannity, we heard what Russell had to say. Then we had liberal Steve, who unfortunately made a cardinal sin. And this is what ruins it for all of us. It does. We like to have people call in, and as long as they're interaction. So he wanted to play for us something that He had on YouTube. I asked Bo to pre-screen it. Bo did, and then he gave us something else. We do not endorse profanity, and we apologize to people that listen to us on our app and our stream because we can't dump that. But we did dump that on the broadcast side, and that's why every day the first thing we do is we look at our delay, because there is a responsibility. When you listen to this program, we want you to listen with your family. And there's already the toxic label on conservatism. In fact, for some reason, and maybe it's time to launch something called the Conservative Nation, where we openly advocate for ourselves. Now, you take a look at what's going on in the world that we live in today. You take a look at how things happen, and you have a drag show at the White House. A drag show at the White House. And no one's talking about the crypto